Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 24th of November 2022. Thanks for joining me. You can see the different background here. I'm at my mother's house. She's on holiday. She's visiting my sister in the States at the moment, so I'm looking after the place while she's away. That's why the background has changed. I want to see what the day is all about by using the Cosmic Tarot for today's reading. And I use this deck quite a lot, so you'll probably know what it looks like, but for anyone who hasn't seen this deck, I just want to show you the cards briefly. This deck is full of characters, as you can see. So if you get a lot of messages via other people and their expressions and their energies, this is a really good deck for that. I think it's very much influenced by dance in some way. I think it's the Seven of... You see, there's lots of different cards that use physical movement as a way to express things. Okay, so let's see what Thursday is all about then, and what energy you'll be working with. All right, first card, we've got the King of Pentacles, the Hermit, oh, and the Devil. That's interesting. Okay, so recently, in terms of the astrology, we had a new moon in Sagittarius. And that energy is very much about setting your own goals and saying, what direction do I want to move in? It's very much about taking control of your life. And the energy has been very optimistic. It's very much been about you kind of getting clear on what you want and then looking at which direction is going to make that possible for you. This day is very, very different. First of all, we've got the King of Pentacles, who's in charge of the element of Pentacles. And he actually represents someone who's very good when it comes to matters of, when it comes to matters that have to do with finance or career or management or wealth management. Anything that's practical, that's work related, that's responsible for the kind of securities you can create in your life. The King of Pentacles is the man. We've got Capricorn in the back. Capricorn in astrology is an earth sign, and it's the sign of the worker. And it's always trying to get to the top of the hill. So the message here is that financially, in terms of your work, you're very successful and happy and in a good place because you work so hard. And because of that, you'll be able to achieve great things and to do really, really well in your career on this day, or anything physical that needs handling, anything practical that you want to readjust or organize in a different way, you're able to do that. But then what kind of makes me suspicious is that we have the Devil. And the Devil is the 15th card in the Major Arcana. And it also has to do with the element of earth as such. We've got a pentagram here, upright. A pentagram is the star, and a pentacle is the star with the circle. Okay, so we've got a pentacle that's upside down here. And the pentacle is interesting because the 5 sides mean something. So when it's this way around, it's the top point is spirit, and then it's the element. So it's earth, air, fire, water. So when the pentacle is this way up, it says that mind over matter. You decide what happens in life. You have control of all the elements, and it's important to keep to that perspective. So he had a vision one day for a lovely resort in the mountains. He made that happen. He built the place. He had the, pools put in, and he started to run the business. Hard work, his vision. And then he created this thing out of nothing, let's say in the mountains. And that's why he's sitting in this position of wealth, and he's managing money and all of that. So that makes sense. I have a dream. I have an idea. I'm going to manifest that. The Devil is the opposite. Earth, air, fire, water, over spirit. So this is the point in life where your circumstances have got out of control, or you feel like you're being controlled by your circumstances instead of the other way around. So the Devil card, it's the 15th card, and the Fool arrives, and it's this moment where he loses perspective and he starts to think the physical is super, super important in his life. So it doesn't matter what's happening for me spiritually, according to this card. What's important is how much money I have, and if I have lots of friends who kind of give me a round of applause and make me feel good all the time, or my looks, or what's happening in my environment. How much money do I have? Um, what are my career prospects? What's happening in my physical life? How much money do I have? It's very much about the ego. So you start to look at your life and you start to weigh it up by saying, okay, do I have a Ferrari or a Toyota? Do I live in a nice house or in a bad house? Do I have a great job or not so great? So it's a way of becoming overly materialistic and assigning meaning to yourself as a spiritual being dependent on your physical circumstances. So it's the kind of thing, it's like a guy who goes on Instagram and he thinks he looks great, but then he sees all these like amazing looking photoshopped, airbrushed models online, and he goes away from the experience thinking, oh, I'm not actually that good looking. I feel worse about myself. So it's a thing about the self based on an external influence. Someone has a better job than me, so they must be more successful. Someone lives in a better environment or has a more charming boyfriend or girlfriend than me, so I must have failed. And it's that tendency that I think appears via these two because it is so much earth that it makes sense that you can lose perspective and take it to the extreme. But the amazing thing about this is we have the Hermit in the middle. The Hermit is the 9th card in the Major Arcana, and it has to do with spirituality and completion. It's about contemplating your life, your process, your experience, and really finding meaning from it. We've got the symbol for Virgo on his arm. So Virgo is about analysis and making sense of things. We've got the, excuse me if I'm getting it wrong, but I think the Om symbol on his forehead, which to me is a sign of spirituality. So what he's making sense of is the messages he gets from Source, from Spirit, the stars, his angels. We've got this pink flower here, so that to me is indicative of the crown chakra opening. The moon here, that information, that spiritual information hitting him right in his heart where he feels. So that's where you can make analysis happen. So pay attention to your feelings. Then we've got the Sun and Jupiter. The Sun's your identity and Jupiter's good luck. So what he's trying to figure out is he's talking to his higher self saying, universe, what is this package here about? What am I all about? What does this mean? He gets the information. It gets him a clear view of who he is. And because of that, he'll know what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are. And that is good luck. Self-awareness, self-knowledge is power. Then this star here comes down and it lights up these mountains, but he's got a lantern that's also lit up. So he is a spiritual light in himself. Spirituality and the universe and everything being made of love and energy also has its light, and it's basically a conversation between the two. So if you sit down and you say, hey, universe, tell me what this is all about, it's almost like taking a mirror and a hammer and smashing the mirror. And the mirror being these two guys. The mirror says, oh, you don't matter. Your spiritual life doesn't matter. All that matters is if your boss is happy with you and if you're getting a promotion, if you're on track, if you're working hard and you have tons of money, or physical health or well-being or whatever practical thing he's focused on. The devil says, it takes it even to the next level. It says spirituality doesn't exist. The only thing here is on planet Earth, you're a meat sack and you better make that meat sack happy. Don't bother meditating. And if you see yourself as just a piece of flesh, you're not going to treat yourself very well. And the thing is, you aren't a piece of flesh. It's just 50% of who you are. So this is dangerous, this card. Losing that perspective can really trap you the way these people are trapped in whatever they thought was going to set them free. It actually becomes hell. So by taking a moment to say, hey, universe, what is it you want? You're able to maintain your perspective. The lantern is lit. You can carry that around with you and make sure that you keep looking at the King of Pentacles who helps you with your work and who says you're a spiritual being having a human experience, so manifest whatever it is you want. But that light also allows you to keep the focus on him and use the good bits of the King of Pentacles without taking it too far, losing your perspective and starting to believe the hype of your external environment, which says you're only as good as, the designer who made your suit or whatever, which is nonsense. Okay, so spirituality is a powerful tool here to clear your vision, to get rid of anything that exerts pressure or influence on you, anything that makes you feel trapped, like you have no freedom in life, like you're just a machine working towards something which is going to define you. If you find yourself skating off in that direction or really making a lot of effort in that area, then just, like when you're getting a cup of tea or you're having a break or something, just look at something different. Like if you've been at the office all day, then maybe go outside and take a few minutes walk in the park and just say, hey, universe, what have you got for me? What's the news today, basically? You'll get a lot of information that then allows you to maintain this perspective. You'll have a super productive day, but you'll be manifesting circumstances which enrich you and free you, not circumstances which then feel like they're controlling you. And that's a huge difference. That's night and day. Okay, the Devil card is the 15th card in the Major Arcana. 15 and 9 is 24, and the court card counts as 1. So 24 and 1 is 25. Yeah. So 1 and 9 is 10. 10 and 15 is 25. 2 and 5 is 7, and 7 is the mind and creativity. So your spiritual connection is really going to help you get creative about the perspective and keep it super positive and put you in the space where you're mastering the element. You're the boss, and you're creatively able to kind of turn the focus around or to avoid it altogether. The Devil card, which is disempowering, not empowering. And the key isn't to fix it in a practical sense, but to go back to your grassroots, to your spiritual base, and to have that lantern lit before you go out and do anything. So it looks very different to the days before. Have a look at the video I made on the new moon in Sagittarius. That's always kind of a fresh start, a new moon. So if you want to have a look at that, check out that video. If you like this video, excuse me, I said video 3 times now, I think, then please give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, and share it online. And if you want to speak to me personally for a personal reading, then get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And in my personal readings, I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology. I combine all of them to find the answers. So if you're questioning your life purpose or what keeps you stuck, or how to connect with your guides, your angels, your higher self if you can't quite hear it, how to improve your practical circumstances, if you've got questions around moving or relationships or what's coming up in future, anything at all really, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. These systems are just so amazing in what they offer. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. All the best.